Thank you for staying with us. We're going to continue talking about some of the symptoms that you should watch out for.
Okay, so one could be with with new words and writing skills. That's another one. So finding that word. Usually what we do is, I mean, we've all kind of experienced that one where we're talking and then we can't remember the word and someone says it for us. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Happens so often.
That
I mean, we
does.
all do that.
That is.
So how would we know that it's now a problem? Because we all do that. We all forget words.
But
now
we
and again.
can't really recall that's the word. A lot of times what happens in the middle of the conversation is they just veer off to another subject because they're they can't remember the word, so they just go on to a different subject altogether.
Okay.
So, and then let's see, another one, a good one, is well, we've already went about misplacing things. Poor judgment. This one is one of the scariest one. This is one where elder abuse is really taking financial, it's happening financially, is all of the charities that come around to older people who like to give things, and so they're not able to make a judgment that someone is actually taking their money. And so these people will give lots of money to charities, and the charities won't do anything because they're scams and not really saying, hey, you know, are you sure? They're just taking all of them and they're draining people's accounts, and it's horrible. So someone that usually makes money decisions wouldn't have done that. So this is not someone who gives all the time. This is someone who usually makes good judgment on money situations. So that's how you would notice on someone like that. Another one which happens is withdrawal from social activities. Somebody who enjoys an activity or goes to work social events and then suddenly stops going. So you're either going to look for depression or you're going to look to see what's going on if they're having some memory problems, because they don't want to be around people and have to fight and try to keep up with them. So they just kind of withdraw and not social with anybody. So
But how would you know that that's dementia and not depression?
Well, you have to go to the doctor and get an assessment. So
Okay.
the person themselves will actually know, because they are the ones withdrawing on purpose, because in the beginning stages, you kind of know that you're having some changes in your mind. And so, and when you're trying to keep up with somebody, it becomes embarrassing. And so you don't want to put yourself into that. So there's a lot of elements to why people withdraw. They just don't want to work so hard to try and keep up. And they haven't taken the time to take care of themselves to go go see what's going on. And like I said, that could be a hormonal imbalance, that could be dementia, but it could be a vitamin deficiency. But for some reason, they're not recognizing that it's a symptom.
Okay.
And family around or friends, they haven't recognized it either.
Anything else we should look out for?
Oh, well, there's lots of things.
It's so worrying.
I know, it's just so sad. It's so sad. We just really need to take care of ourselves. Really, most of us know our bodies, and we know when we're having changes. We just need to pay attention. If you think that you are having problems with your own memory, I would just keep a diary and then look back and see if you are forgetting, because when you're writing something down in sequence, and you go back and you find that it's all jibber jabber, you'll notice. And
But then that's supposed to be very frightening for someone to actually see, oh my gosh, I'm not all together now. I'm forgetting things.
yeah.
How they may not want to seek help because they may say, oh, if I go somewhere, they'll say I'm mad. So
Yeah, that is a fear, and that's unfortunately that's the negative stigma that I wish that we could change, because what if it is just a vitamin B deficiency though? What if it's just what if it's a thyroid problem? I would want to know what it is, what's causing this. And actually, if you do find out that you do have dementia, there's better care. I would want to know the care for it so that I can preserve my life as long as possible. I don't want to be shoved off onto the side and said, oh, well, you're mad, and then I don't experience life. What if I have 20, 30 years left? And if you just let me just wither away, I just wouldn't want that. I see so much joy in people with dementia, and they can have a very good life
Yeah,
in
but
the
you know,
condition.
what people fear is when you have dementia to the extent that you can't even remember your family. That's very painful. Now, is that
It-
dementia? When you eventually
yeah.
you don't remember this person.
Right, right, yeah. It's the last stages of it when you don't remember anybody. It's one of the, well, it could be the middle to the last. But when you lose your oldest memories, that's towards the end of the stages of the disease. So they have different stages of them. So
Well, maybe what we have to start asking our viewers to start taking in, as Regina says, if you know there's something wrong, she said it could be a vitamin deficiency, and that could help prevent or even pause what may eventually happen. But the other way to look at it, I think, would be, what about the people who have to care for you? Is it fair, if you know that there's something wrong and you haven't done anything about it, to then just keep it or get it to such an extent where you can't manage it on your own? You need to have the help of other people, which you'll get anyway.
right,
You'll
right.
get anyway. You'll get the help, wouldn't you? I'm assuming if you have family or there are support groups or organizations that can help you. But at least if you could try and find out about it sooner, then you can try and do something about that sooner too.
Yeah, you'd want to fight for a cure.
Yeah.
Um,
And also think about, you know, what happens to the people who are going to look after you, because they have to give up a certain amount of their life.
They give up all of their life. Most of them give up all of their lives to care for someone they love with. They're angels. The people that turn around and just reverse the roles and just care for them. Most of them are all angels. I think with Alzheimer's or any kind of dementia, and you have a care partner, whether it be a spouse or a sibling or a child, that it's a wake-up call of humanity, because you want that person to be happy. You want them to live as who they are as much as possible, so you help them be who they are, and that's what caregivers' jobs are. The problem is that the caregivers are not recognizing their own needs, and so they're deteriorating even before the person with Alzheimer's. And so it's two needs. We need to care for the people with Alzheimer's and other dementias, and the caregivers.
Like Mark in the video. I mean, he's an amazing
Yes. Yeah.
man. I mean, the love for his wife is just absolutely amazing. But you see it and you think, you know, I would do it too.
Right.
If that happened to my partner. But then again, it all depends on the state of your relationship. You might think, oh well. You know, because, you know, we laugh, but there are some people out there who they'll think, you know, just put them in a home.
Yeah, yeah. You have to be an advocate. Even if you put them in a home, you have to be a family advocate, because the homes are doing the best they can, and it's hard to filter out all the people who are there just for a job or they don't really have a lot of connection. So you as a caregiver that puts them there, it's not always a choice of just getting rid of them. Some families seriously don't have the resources to take care of them in the home, which means that they're out working, and so they need to hire someone in the home to keep them safe, and they're finding that they can't manage both. And so that's one of the reasons why someone will place them in a home. But that doesn't stop their responsibility. Their responsibility is to make sure that their loved one is well cared for, and they tend to go to that home and they're there all the time. They just have the extra stress of not managing the care taken away, and that helps them be able to care for themselves as well.
Now, there have been a few films about dementia that have tried to let people see what the disease is really about. And I'm going to tell you a bit about one, because I cannot remember who stars in it. I think it's James Garner and a beautiful young lady with
Notebook.
Is that The Notebook?
Yeah.
The Notebook. Yes, it's The Notebook. If you haven't seen The Notebook, you watch The Notebook.
Yes, it's good.
We'll be right back.